Is Kamala Harris a Christian? And does it matter? Well, here's what I've noticed. I've never heard her say she's a Christian. You even heard Obama claim to be a Christian sometimes, even though he preached mostly against the Bible. About how violent the Old Testament is and all this stuff, and then he'd promote Islam. He'd put their prayer suits on and promote Islam, but he tried to be pretty loyal to the New World Order of supporting all religions. But he would say he's a Christian because a lot of people will believe that. But he really supports all religions, and mostly Islam. That's not somebody, they used to act like, oh, they're just saying that because he's black or something. No, he was always preaching against the Bible, at certain parts of the Bible and what it says, and acting like it was Christianity that the one that brought the KKK and stuff like that. The truth is, KKK came from evolution. KKK infiltrated the church, Christian church, and other religions by promoting prohibition, outlawing drugs, outlawing alcohol at one point. And so they were able to have influence on the church with those laws. But they hated Christ. They burned crosses because they hated Christ. They hated seeing slaves happy and singing Christian music because they had hope in Christ, hope of redemption, hope of resurrection, hope of a second life, hope of escape from slavery in this life, or a freedom from slavery. So, is Kamala Harris a Christian? She was against Israel. She was really had a lot of anguish or anger, hate, I don't know what you call it, toward Israel for fighting back when they were attacked by Gaza. Israel was attacked, I think it was last October, which was almost in 2 months will be a year. They were attacked at a park. People at a park and a concert. And I think there was a concert, I forget. But a big park. Civilians. By Islamic terrorists from Gaza. An organized effort. And Israel decided they're not they can't put up with that anymore. They took hostages. The Islamic terrorist group from Gaza took hostages. They didn't just attack. They took lots of hostages. Children, women, civilians, men, civilians. And Israel's trying to get that back. And Kamala Harris was very critical and angry with Israel for doing those things. Israel is the place where Christ lived. He was born in Bethlehem. I get that mixed up. Jesus of Nazareth, Bethlehem. If I don't think about it. He was on the run when he was born. So, what's the song? Born in Bethlehem, born in Bethlehem. I guess he was born in Bethlehem. That helps me remember. But not Jesus of Nazareth, he's called. I think they're from Nazareth. That's Israel. Both are Israel. He grew up in Israel. That's why Islam hates Israel. That's why Kamala Harris isn't supportive of Israel. Now, a lot of people in Israel today don't believe in Christ. They don't believe that Christ who came, a lot of the Judaism people today, the real Judaism in the Old Testament believed Christ was coming as the Messiah. They were looking for him to come. But a lot of them don't believe that Jesus was that Messiah. So that's the case. That means they don't believe too. A lot of them don't. But it's representative. A lot of them, I don't know what the percentage is, but there is a large Christian population in Israel who does believe in Christ. But either way, that's where he's from. And Kamala Harris is not supportive of Israel. She'll turn around and say it sometimes, but she's clearly not supportive of Israel. She's not supportive of us having independence in America. She wants us to be overtaken by every country that wants to come here. With the border laws she supports. She doesn't support us understanding each other. I mean, we should want to be able to talk and get along and be able to speak the same languages, the same language. That's not our fault for not being educated when we were a kid, learning a language when we were a kid. Now, some other countries, they can speak two languages. And there's a lot of people that come here and can speak two languages and refuse to do it. They'll do it just to be mean, and they'll be talking to somebody who speaks English. There are people who do that and pretend they can't talk, but they can. There's people that do that stuff. Now, as far as the immigrants go, I'd like to think I've seen some nice families and appear to be immigrants here. A lot of Hispanics who speak the language. They seem happy to be here, and like I see them shopping a lot of times, and it seems they're pretty enthused with Walmart. I don't know how their stores were down there, but their culture's different. Some of them will hang out and talk and not be as aware that they're blocking the aisle for someone, and they're not trying to be rude. They're just enjoying the shopping. So, I mean, there are people in America who will block the aisles. They'll block sidewalks to be rude. I'm not talking about homeless people sleeping, but I'm talking about gangster types who will they want you to move out of the way. They're going to run you over. You got to get off the sidewalk. You got to step to the side. They're not going to be considered a cooperative and 50-50 on the issue. So I don't think the Hispanics are doing that at all. I think they're just enjoying the shopping. They get involved in conversation, and it's a different setting for them. And I'm not saying all Hispanics, but I've seen quite a few that do that. So that kind of block the aisles a little bit. But what I'm saying, though, is that they're happy, family-oriented, a lot of them. And they're being tricked by, if they think that the Democrats are the ones who wanted those types of people here, they're being tricked because they've allowed many non-civilian groups to come through here via the drug cartel paths. And so I'm glad for the ones that are happy and family-oriented. They don't have to be family-oriented, but as far as natural family-oriented, supportive of that and not fighting and arguing about it all the time. It's just natural, and they're happy to have. It's nice to see families. You go to a store that's mostly Americans, and you hardly see families in some places now. You hardly see any kids with parents or with both parents. But a lot of the Hispanic families, you see father, mother, and children. That's pretty nice. I like that. But the Democrat Party is against that type of family. So don't be fooled. All right? Even though the Obamas had that type of family, but they legislated against that type of family. So they made laws that hurt that type of family. So anyway, so does it matter if somebody's Christian? Yes, it does, because the Ten Commandments are the best laws on the earth. They don't even outlaw medicine. God knew better than to outlaw medicine. Don't kill, don't steal, love God, love your neighbor, don't covet somebody's property, don't covet their wife, don't commit adultery, don't lie against people. The Democrats are known for lying against their opponents and lying about people in general. So, and then they don't forgive, they don't love their neighbors. They campaign on hate. Democrats campaign on hating a person, and they're counting on everybody believing this guy's a devil. This kind of thing, right? So people aren't devils. Even Obama, Kamala, none of them, even Hillary, none of them are devils. But they don't love God. They don't love their neighbors. They love every other God that opposes the God of love your neighbor, right? They don't care that they tried to steal from Donald Trump's, they're calling him a felon. They don't love felons. Everybody speaks against felons, and they're taught felons are bad, but the Christian side is taught to forgive, have mercy, have a redemption plan. And so a felon has committed crimes and they don't get along. They don't seek to get along. Sometimes it's not that way. Certain things happen. People fight. There's different stories, reasons people become felons. I have 10 seconds left. And it matters, because it matters to have the Ten Commandments be honored in our country. They're good for people. Those are love your neighbor laws.